Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. We will be live for pregame at 5 minutes. 5 minutes on your screen. And welcome into Pinnacle Bank Arena for pregame ahead of our Pinnacle matchup. The number 1 ranked Bellevue West Thunderbirds taking on the number 5 ranked Omaha Central Eagles for a spot at the Class A title tomorrow night. My name is Wilson Dittman alongside my partner, as always, Jonathan Spieler. Jonathan, how are you today?
I am good. Really ready for this matchup. Going to be a good one.
Yeah, so let's just jump right into it, talking about Bellevue West and what they've brought to the table this season. Again, about as good as it gets with only 1 loss, led by South Dakota State Jaden Jackson. But, again, a lot of great players on this starting lineup.
Yes, there is. I mean, both teams are stacked, but Bellevue West does have a super good lineup. I mean, star players that you're going to want to watch are number 10 Turner, number 12 Jackson, number 32 Garcia. I mean, the list goes on. And really, Central's going to have to find a way to stop these individuals because, I mean, any one of them can get going and become hot and a threat. So,
yeah, and then when we talk about Bellevue West, they did struggle in their first-round matchup against Creighton Prep. Again, that went down to the wire with Bellevue West pulling it out right at the end, but something to be cautious about, especially going forward when you play a very talented Omaha Central team. Now let's transition to talking about Omaha Central and really what they are this season. Again, 17-8, but have made a run as of late in the season, led by their star player, Daron Thomas.
Yes, Thomas is one of their star players, and I think the biggest threat for Central is that once they get going, they are hard to stop. I mean, and especially with somewhat of an older starting lineup, their experience will carry them, and pressure does not get to them, which is going to be hard for Bellevue West to combat.
So we talked about a little bit in the Class B game, Crete versus Sky. I said it was an old school versus new school battle. It's very similar here. We're talking about Omaha Central, which, of course, had a run of dominance throughout the 2000s and 2010s. I mean, they're a win state every single year. And then we talk about Bellevue West. They've been more of that new school winning state 2 of the last 4 years, and they're looking to do so once again this year. All I know is it's going to be a phenomenal matchup. Again, both teams are taking the floor right now. We see Bellevue West wearing their all-whites, and then, of course, Omaha Central in the all-purples today. So let's take a look at the student sections for both teams, starting off with Bellevue West. Looks like it's more of a beach theme. They're about 3 rows deep, so pretty all right. And then from Central, wow, not much there, about 1 row.
If that.
I can't even tell the theme. It might be a jersey theme, might just be a purple theme, but, yeah, 1 row right now for Omaha Central. So that's our little student section cam. As for the fans, really good fans here at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Again, expect this to be pretty much full when we get started for the game. So, again, both teams right now warming up, getting ready to go. So let's talk about our star player for both teams. I'm going to give it to you for Omaha Central.
Omaha Central, as you stated, Thomas, definitely the star player for Central, averaging 17.8 points a game. With 4.1 assists per game. I mean, what else can you ask for? A person who passes the ball gets points.
Yeah, I said when they were playing in the Holiday Tournament earlier this year, I said Daron Thomas might just be the best player in the state of Nebraska, and he's been doing great things for Central this year. Now, as for Bellevue West, my pick for their best player, I mean, it has to be Jaden Jackson, right? I mean, South Dakota State commit, again, averaging about 17 points per game as well. But it's a very deep Bellevue West team. Expect Robbie Garcia, the big man, to have a big day along with Eldon Turner. So both teams getting ready to shake hands, and now we're going to honor the United States with the national anthem. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, and we will be back for the opening lineups. So welcome into pregame coverage, beautiful rendition of the national anthem by the Omaha Central Pep Band. And now they're going to get started with the lineups for both teams. They're going to run through the bench of Omaha Central, then the bench of Bellevue West, and they'll go to the starting lineups. So again, they're going to start off with Omaha Central wearing their all-purples today. Central comes into this matchup 17-8 on the season, winning 3 of their last 3. And they're really on a hot streak as of recently. They had a little bit of a skid throughout the month of February, but really have started to heat up. So again, going through that bench. Again, just great atmosphere here for the Class A semifinals. We've seen some great crowds today. I think probably the best crowd was the Crete versus Scott. That was almost full, and we saw a full student section for Crete. And fortunately for their fans, they lost.
Yeah, weirdly enough, these are actually the weakest student sections we've seen all day.
So they went through the bench for Central, now announcing the bench for Bellevue West, led by sixth man Isaiah McMorris. I know a lot of Nebraska fans are going to want to be interested to see what he does today, Nebraska football commit. So again, run through it. The Thunderbirds are wearing all white today. And here we go. So they're going to start off with the starters now for Omaha Central. Number 2, DJ Sterling, getting them going. Now the star player, number 4, Daron Thomas. Up next, number 10, Elijah Wayne. Now up next, number 23, the big man, 6'6", Devin Holman. And then rounding out the starting lineup, number 35, Deshaun Prince. And a guy to also keep your mind on if you're a Nebraska football fan, guys being recruited by a lot of schools. And Omaha Central is coached by Bob Tucker. So up next now for the T-Birds, number 1 seed in this tournament. Now starting off with number 1, Jacob Arope, 6'7". Now Stephen Pollock, up next, the sharpshooter. Eldon Turner, number 10. The South Dakota State commit, Jaden Jackson. And last but not least, number 32 rounding out the starting lineup for the T-Birds, Robbie Garcia. So both teams on the court right now, ready to shake hands on the midline. And then let's get ready to play some basketball. The T-Birds are head coached by Steve Klein, first year after taking over after the legendary Coach Woodard. So both teams meet at half court, shaking hands, getting ready for this matchup with everything on the line, a bid for the Class A state title. So here we go. Both teams making their way on the floor, starting lineups, huddling up on the Husker logo. Talking this one over, refs not letting them go just yet. Bellevue West and a couple extra words from their head coach. And here we go. Let's get this thing started. Both teams taking their place here for the tip-off. Robbie Garcia will do the duty for the T-Birds. Devin Holman for the Eagles.
Both big guys.
Ref goes to center court. Throws the ball up. And Bellevue West wins the tip-off. So Eldon Turner will bring across the timeline to get things going for the T-Birds. Guarded closely by DJ Sterling. Gives over to Jaden Jackson on the wing. Right back to Eldon Turner. Turner now in the left corner, trying to work his way inside. Good defense. Those all the way over to Stephen Pollock in the right corner. Now Jaden Jackson will reset at the top of the key. Looking for a man. Now back to Eldon Turner, left wing. Now trying to feed the big man, Jacob Arope, who's backing his way down. Now over to Garcia. Good ball movement. There's a travel on the floor. So the T-Birds passing all around the perimeter, but they get called with a tic-tac. So DJ Sterling will bring it across the timeline now for Central, trying to strike first. They feed Dale Thomas right away. Ball's poked free, but he gets under it. Gives it over to Devin Holman on the left wing. Now over to Elijah Wayne, top of the key. Now to Deshaun Prince. Deshaun Prince working on the right wing, jab stepping. Now has to give it over to Dale Thomas. Dale Thomas cooking. Now over to the corner. Three-pointer on the way for Prince. Got it to go. Or excuse me, that was Devin Holman, the big man, who connects for the first bucket of the day. T-Birds now on the other end. Stephen Pollock, guarded by Dale Thomas, gives it over to Robbie Garcia, now to Jane Jackson on the left wing. Jane Jackson feeding Stephen Pollock inside into the paint. Falls, and then gives it over to Rope, who just lays it right in. The T-Birds come back quick and get a bucket on the scoreboard. DJ Sterling on the other end right now for Central. He's trying to maneuver his way inside. But they'll just reset with Dale Thomas. Devin Holman has it on the Husker logo, gives over to DJ Sterling, who drives baseline. Pass up a layup, ball goes out of bounds, and it is off of the leg of Elijah Wayne, and it'll be T-Bird basketball.
Quick start here by both teams, getting two quick buckets.
So Eldon Turner bringing across the timeline. See a 2-3 zone already from Omaha Central. They've run this all year long. Stephen Pollock with a floater, no good rebound by Elijah Wayne. Central trying to go quick on a one-on-one. Deshaun Prince feeds Devin Holman wide open in the lane for a bucket. Eldon Turner gives it over to Robbie Garcia now for Bellevue West. Tough pass, almost taken away by Delron Thomas. He falls to the ground. Eldon Turner's wide open. Pass up a three, trying to drive inside. Now Stephen Pollock takes a three-pointer, no good. They get their own board. Second chance up and in for Eldon Turner. So Devin Holman across the timeline. 5-4 early in this ball game. Central's up. They give it over to Deshaun Prince on the left wing. He's going to reset. Now over to DJ Sterling on the Husker logo. Shouting out commands, setting up a play. Now he's trying to crash the glass. Tough layup. There's a foul on the floor, and it's going to be on Central. So Bellevue West will take over.
And that's going to be on Elijah Williams. Excuse me, Elijah Wayne.
So Garcia inbounds over to Eldon Turner. Turner will bring it across the timeline, down by 1 point right now to the number 5 ranked Omaha Central Eagles. Jacob Arope gives over to Stephen Pollock at the top of the key. He's maneuvering his way inside. Tough layup, got to go. Pollock connects. Now Daron Thomas going quick across the timeline. Tough layup, no good. Gets his own board. Over to Sterling to the three-point line. He's trying to fit it back into Daron Thomas, taken away by the T-Birds. And an acrobatic play, Jaden Jackson just threw it off of Daron Thomas, goes out of bounds, and after all of that, it'll be Bellevue West basketball.
Yeah, they played it on the replay. He kind of jumped and then threw it off of the Central defender.
So a couple check-ins right now early for Bellevue West. Jaden Casio-Jensen in the game. They give it to him on the Husker logo. Being trapped, Central's double team, and they give it over to Ellen Turner. He'll try to drive inside. Tough layup, no good. And rebounded by Central. Daron Thomas will bring it across the other way. Still looking for his first bucket. Working off of a screen. Now he's going to drive baseline. Being double teamed. Throws it all the way over to DJ Sterling. Now to the corner. Three-pointer on the way for Prince. Got it. Jashawn Prince with 2 corner threes here in this first quarter. And he has all 8 points right now for Central. Now Robbie Garcia, three-pointer of his own. No good off the back iron. Rattling around still, and somehow still doesn't fall, and Daron Thomas will come down with the board. Holman now going the other end. Spin move, working inside, misses. They're going to call a foul on the way down, which is going to send Devin Holman to the line for 2 free throws. Devin Holman, a star dynamic player next to Daron Thomas, averaging 12 points a game, but only shooting 50% from the free throw line. First one for him, got it to go. So first bucket of the game for Devin Holman comes off of a free throw. Central extending their lead to 9-6. Second one now for Devin Holman. Shot is up and rattles no good. Rebound by Jacob Arope. He'll bring it across the other end. Now for the T-Birds. Looking for a bucket to tie up this ball game or get it within 1. Now over to Pollock in the corner. Guarded closely by Elijah Wayne. Now over to Isaiah Morris. Trying to fit it into Jacob Arope. He has in the paint. Jab step. Got it to go.
Great hands by Arope.
Central trying to go quick now. They give it over to DJ Sterling on the Husker logo. And he'll reset, setting up the offense. Up by 1 point. Over to Deshaun Prince on the right wing. Now to Daron Thomas. And he loses the ball. That's going to be an over the back on Daron Thomas. He's being pressed defensively by Jaden Jackson. And that's what star players do. They can really impact the game defensively along with offensively. And that's what Jackson brings to the table.
Looks like Central switching to man defense, similar to Bellevue West, who is doing also man.
So they inbound over to Jacob Arope. Jacob Arope feeds Jaden Jackson now on the right wing, working closely on G.J. Sterling. Now being double-teamed. Ball is poked free, but it goes out of bounds. They'll stay with Bellevue West on their end. The T-Birds are going left to right here on the floor. Jensen will inbound to Arope. Back to Jensen. Now he finds Isaiah Morris in the corner. He drives baseline, passes it up. Now Jensen has it again, loses the ball, and it's taken away by Central. Daron Thomas across the timeline. Trying to work inside, pass up a mid-range, now gives it over to Deshaun Prince. Now they throw it up to the top of the key, and right back to Daron Thomas. Daron Thomas trying to put the handles on his defender. Nice little fake backdoor cut, tough layup. No good, but he is fouled on the way up. And he hit the ground hard, and he was just inviting the contact. So that's going to send Daron Thomas to the free throw line. The best free throw shooter on the Central team, but that's not saying much, only averaging 65%. This team in general averages 54%. And with that being said, Daron Thomas misses the first free throw. Central up by 1 point, trying to extend it right here. Second one for Thomas on the way and rattles home.
Looks like the refs are going to intervene here for a bit.
It looks like they're telling Deshaun Prince to just get away from the inbounds a little too close. And now Jensen gets it over to Jane Jackson. So now a full court press look from Omaha Central. First time we've seen this today. They get across the midline, no problem. Jane Jackson has the top of the key. Now feeds Isaiah Morris, who crashes the glass, loses the basketball, but it's fouled on the way up. So it looked like Deshaun Prince for Central just kind of slapped his arm.
Yep.
And that's going to send Xavier Morris for 2 free throws. We talk about McMorris, the 6th man on this T-Bird team, but does it in multiple sports along with football. Again, he is going to be a Nebraska Cornhusker next year at that wide receiver spot. I know a lot of fans are excited to see him play. So first free throw for him is up and in. Second one to tie this ball game. Free throw is up and all nets. 10-10. Here with 2 minutes left to play in the first quarter.
Looks like Turner's checking back in from Bellevue West.
Yeah, it should be noted that Jane Jackson getting a breather here real quick, the star player for the T-Birds. So they inbound over to Holman, who will bring it across the midline, no problem. Has on the Husker logo. Pivoting, now gives it over to Daron Thomas. Thomas working on Isaiah McMorris. Good handles. Now to Deshaun Prince. Back to Thomas on the left wing. Thomas surveying. Gives it over to Holman in the post. Tough mid-range, no good. Rebound Wayne, second chance, take it away. So the T-Birds will go the other end. Jensen over to Polk in the corner. He drives baseline. Feeds Garcia. Ball is poked free and taken away by Central. They're going quick. Throw it up to Daron Thomas. And there was some contact. Thomas wanted a foul. He basically just threw it up like a football pass. Said go up, get a 50-50 ball. But it goes out of bounds and it'll be off of Central. So full court press look right now by Omaha Central. The T-Birds bring it across the timeline, no problem. Eldon Turner has on the left wing. Being trapped, taken away by Daron Thomas. Intercepted that one like a cornerback. Now, three-pointer on the way from him, no good. Rebound Central, second chance. Holman, no good. Third chance now with Deshaun Prince. Ball's poked free, he gets under it, and there's going to be a jump ball.
A lot of contact. Turner ended up on the ground there.
Yeah, so excuse me, it looks like they did call a foul on the T-Birds who are fighting for that board. So that's going to be the T-Birds' third here in this first quarter.
And Jackson coming back in for the Thunderbirds.
So Daron Thomas will inbound under his own basket. Surveying, looking for a man. Now throws it up to Devin Holman on the left wing. Holman just surveying, looking for anybody to pass to. Now gives it over to Newsome. Newsome jab stepping. Over to Daron Thomas now. Thomas on a mismatch on Isaiah Morris. And the ball is off of his shoe, and it'll stay with Omaha Central. So Sterling checking right back in for Central. He comes in for Deshaun Prince. And once again, there will be another inbound right now for the Eagles. Daron Thomas under his own basket once again. Throws up to Holman, but it's taken away by Robbie Garcia. T-Birds going quick. They feed Eldon Turner, but now it's taken away once again by Central. Some sloppy basketball last couple minutes.
Lots of turnovers, lots of back and forth.
So now Newsome on the right wing. Over to DJ Sterling. Sterling trying to drive inside. Turnaround Jay, no good. Rebound by the T-Birds. That's Jaden Jackson, who checks right back in this game. He'll bring it across the timeline. Trying to fit it into Robbie Garcia. Devin Holman made a good play to get a hand on it, but it'll go out of bounds on him. So 58 seconds left to go here in this first quarter. We haven't seen a bucket in the last couple minutes. T-Birds trying to change that, get the lead for the first time today. Isaiah Morris, three-point on the way. Yep, just like that, Isaiah Morris wide open in the corner.
And looks like that might be a foul on Morris.
There was excessive celebration after that three-pointer. Isaiah Morris, with his patented celebration, he does this all the time. He basically pointed at the opposing bench in sort of a gun move, said, hey, I'm shooting right now from three-point land, but the refs didn't like that. So that's a technical foul on Isaiah Morris, which is going to send Daron Thomas to the free throw line for Central. And again, that's something he's done throughout the year, but again, that's a risky, especially to point at the other bench in that kind of manner. Yeah, that'll be called every now and then. So Daron Thomas knocks down the first free throw off the technical. Second one on the way now. No good off the back iron.
Looks like Morris was telling his teammates, my bad there.
Again, it was a big shot to get the lead for the first time today, but yeah, you got to control your emotions, especially with the state title on the line here in the semifinal matchup. So Holman will inbound, gives it over to DJ Sterling on the midline. He'll drive inside. Tough lip off the glass. Rolls home for DJ Sterling. We're all tied up once again at 13. Stephen Pollock going quick right now for the T-Birds. Here Reset gives it over to Eldon Turner. Turner trying to feed Garcia inside, but it's taken away by Newsome. Now center going quick. Poked free again, and the T-Birds will take over. So Jaden Jackson will slow things down. Shot clock is off. He'll wait to get one last look going into the second quarter. Jaden Jackson has it on the midline, guarded closely by Dale Ron Thomas of Omaha Central. 15 seconds left to play here in this first quarter. Again, just waiting, surveying. Now they got to go. 8 seconds. Jaden Jackson driving inside. Kicks it over to Stephen Pollock in the corner, and he goes out of bounds.
Wow.
Tough pass over to Pollock, and yeah, it looks like just the left heel clipped the out-of-bounds marker. And Central will take over with 5 seconds left. So Devin Holman will inbound, and they give it over to Daron Thomas. He has to go quick here. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Logo three-pointer. Got it off the glass. Daron Thomas connects for a triple at the buzzer.
What a shot.
My goodness, that was about 5 feet behind the line. And Daron Thomas said, I can shoot it from anywhere. And Central retakes the lead going into the second quarter. That is about as good as it gets, folks. And there's a reason why Daron Thomas is one of the best players in all of Class A. So after that, Central will be going into the second quarter up by 3 over the number 1 seeded Bellevue West T-Birds. So we're going to take a very quick break here on Millard South Media, and we will be right back. And welcome back to this one. Both teams retaking the floor after a Dale Ron Thomas buzzer beater 3. And Central right now with a 3-point lead, and they're going to inbound this basketball, trying to extend it. So 8 minutes until the end of the first half. Let's get things started for the second quarter. Dale Ron Thomas will bring it across the midline. Gives it over to DJ Sterling. No, fakes a pass. Now driving baseline, and it's blocked. Taken away by the T-Birds. They're trying to go quick now on the other end. They give it to Jaden Jackson. 3-pointer the way from the left wing. No good. Rebound by Deshaun Prince. He'll bring it the other way now. He's trying to go quick. Gives it over to Daron Thomas. He'll maneuver his way to the paint. Stops his dribble. Now feeds Newsome. On the way. No good. Taken away by Robbie Garcia of the T-Birds. It's been a fast-paced ballgame all day. Now Eldon Turner 3-pointer. Got it off the glass. Did he call bank? That's a great question, but it doesn't matter. It's up and in. So 16 apiece right now. Devin Holman over to Sterling. 3-point on the way for Central. Got it. DJ Sterling responds with a triple of his own. Eldon Turner across the timeline. Over to Robbie Garcia. 3-pointer. No good. And finally, we'll slow things down. Holman across the timeline. Over to Sterling on the Husker logo. Guarded by Stephen Pollock. He's going to set a screen for him. Mid-range J now for Sterling. Rattles no good. Rebound by Jaden Jackson. Jackson will bring it the other way. He's going left to right here on the floor. Now driving inside. Kicks over to Pollock. 3-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound by Devin Holman of Central. He's going to throw it all the way over to Daron Thomas, who puts up a corner 3. No good. Rebound by Omaha Central. Blocked by Robbie Garcia on the second chance. So Bellevue West not slowing down. They're going to go quick. Eldon Turner wide open 3-pointer. No good. Rebound by Daron Thomas of Central. And finally, Daron Thomas will slow things down. Now to Sterling on the right wing. Sterling setting up the offense, calling out a play. Throws it over to now Daron Thomas on the Husker logo right at that midline. Everybody catching their breath. Daron Thomas behind the back gives it over to the corner with Deshaun Brents. Pass up a good look from 3. Has a screen called for him. 7 seconds the shot clock. They give it to Holman on the Husker logo. Holman driving inside, loses dribble for a second. Taken away by Jaden Jackson. A 2-on-1. Throws it over to Pollock, and he's fouled. So Stephen Pollock, Jaden Jackson fouled before he gets it over to Pollock. So an inbound coming. So the T-Birds to inbound on their side of the court. Jaden Jackson gives it over to Eldon Turner on the right wing. Down by 3 points here in the semifinal matchup. Eldon Turner. Now to Isaiah Morris, now trying to feed Jaden Jackson inside. Nice backdoor cut over to Robbie Garcia. Misses the layup, but there's a foul on the way up. Yeah, it looks like Devin Holman just clipped his right arm, which is going to send Robbie Garcia to the charity stripe. And this is the guy who's averaging 65% this year.
That'll be the second foul for Central.
So first free throw for the junior, up and in for the T-Birds. (19-17) ball game. Second free throw now for Robbie Garcia, up and rattles home. So DJ Sterling will bring it across the midcourt line on the Husker logo, going right to left. Now feeds Devin Holman, who's trying to back down Jaden Jackson. He gets into the paint, left-handed layup, no good. Maybe Jaden Jackson got a finger on that basketball. T-Birds going the other way, trying to take the lead. Nice cut over to Pollock, wide open layup, and he takes that one.
This game has kept getting faster and faster.
So now a foul on the floor.
And that's going to bring a sub in.
Yeah, it's Kevon Newsom checking right back in his ball game for Devin Holman.
And then Jensen for
T-Birds.
Bellevue West.
So Central inbound under their own basket. Daron Thomas scanning. Throws over to Ackerman. Ackerman over to Thomas. Now back to Ackerman inside the paint. Tough layup. No good. Rebound by Newsom. Second chance. No good as well. Rebound by the T-Birds. Ball is free. Taken away by Daron Thomas. He'll try to drive inside. Tough mid-range like Kobe, and he got it.
That was all net.
I mean, he just puts those pull-up mid-ranges from anywhere. Stephen Pollock on the other end, fouled on the layup. He was trying to go quick. So like you said, Jonathan, it's been a very fast second quarter.
It has.
Everybody's catching their breath, including me. And that's going to send Stephen Polacek for the line for 2 free throws.
I feel like both of these teams came out today wanting to push the pressure, and both of them were kind of doing it the same way, and it's been sloppy, but I mean they're scoring.
So first free throw for Stephen Polacek is no good off the back iron. Now has one more to try to tie up this ball game. Both teams have all 5 timeouts left. Stephen Polacek, second free throw up and in. And a lazy inbounds by Kevon Newsom just rolls right out of bounds, and T-Birds will take advantage of that mistake. They're going to inbound again. So Eldon Turner will inbound under his own basket for the T-Birds. Scanning, looking for somebody now, to throw it up to Jaden Jackson on the left wing. Now over to Jacob Arope. Arope backing down to Sean Prince. Tough layup. No foul is called, taken away by Central. Arope was just trying to find any contact. The ref said, nope, not today. GJ Sterling on the other end. Floater got to go.
Right over a rope.
Eldon Turner now brings it across the floor. Over to Jaden Jackson, who's on the Husker logo at the top of the key. Now gives it over to Eldon Turner on the left wing. Surveying, trying to feed a rope inside. Too easy for the big man. It is a hard job to cover Jacob Arope, all 6'7" of him. Again, he's committed to South Dakota for football as a D-line commit. Very, very hard. Daron Thomas the other way now for Central. On a mismatch. Step back three-pointer. No good. Second chance now for Ackerman. Rolls home. Ike Ackerman off the bench for Central, making his presence felt. Eldon Turner going the other way now. Trying to get inside the lane. Loses the ball. Goes out of bounds, and it will be Central basketball.
And these offensive rebounds for Central are huge. And looks like there's going to be a sub in for Central.
Yeah, Devin Holman checking right back in this game. Both teams not really in foul trouble. Again, mostly everybody just has one foul. But something to keep your eye on as this game progresses.
3:30 left.
G.J. Sterling will bring it across the timeline. Gives it over to Daron Thomas, and he's fouled the second he touches the basketball. So inbound coming right now for Central. Again, the good thing about this Central team is they're getting it done a variety of ways. Daron Thomas with 7 points, DJ Sterling with 7, and then Deshaun Prince with 6. They give it to DJ Sterling, who drives inside. Tough layup blocked by Jacob Arope. The T-Birds will bring it across the other end, trying to tie up this ball game at 25. Eldon Turner gives it over to Isaiah Morris. He's maneuvering his way inside. Over to Robbie Garcia. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Rebound all around. Goes out of bounds. And it'll be Central basketball.
Looked like Arope wanted a replay on that one. He thought it was off Central.
Yeah, it was close, but we just saw a replay, and, yeah, it looked like it was off of a rope. So good call by the referees. Devin Holman, with 3 minutes left to play, has it at the top of the key. Central leads by 2 points over the number 1 seeded team in Class A. Tough pass over to Sean Prince, goes flying out of bounds, so it'll stay with Central.
And look like Pollock is back in for Bell West. Holman inbounding.
So DJ Sterling will bring it across the midline once again at 7 points a day. Now trying to work his way inside. Backdoor cut over to Deshaun Prince. Ball goes out of bounds and is off of him. Deshaun Prince with a pump fake, and it just looked like it hit his left knee and rolled right out. So Jaden Jackson gives it over to Isaac McMorris now on the left wing. McMorris feeds Polachek in the corner. Pass up a three-pointer. Now over to Jaden Jackson. Trying to feed a rope inside. He falls down to the ground. They're going to call a foul on Central. And we're on the Central side, and they do not like it. And, yeah, I mean, I don't – it was a questionable call. Looked like maybe a rope just kind of tripped over his own 2 feet, but sometimes you're going to get that in the sport of basketball. So after the foul, T-Birds will inbound over to Garcia. Three-pointer now on the way. Got it. Robbie Garcia from the right wing gives Bellevue West the lead right back. Sterling trying to respond now for the Eagles. Being double-teamed, has to give it over to Daron Thomas. Thomas guarded by Jaden Jackson. A star-on-star matchup right now. Thomas feeding Newsome, who works his way inside the paint. Tough layup, no good. Ball is free, taken away by a rope for the T-Birds. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. Tough pass over to Polachek, saved. Jaden Jackson now a reset, setting up the offense for the T-Birds. Now over to Isaiah Morris, who's still yet to have a point today. Back to Jaden Jackson. Jackson on the right wing, a little back and forth action, but there is a foul off the ball. Now go on Central's Kevon Newsome. So they're going to have to check Kevon Newsome out of this game. He's already at 3 fouls. And Central's 1 foul away, or excuse me, that was the 5th foul, so that's going to send Bellevue West to the bonus. So Jacob Arope will go to the line. The big man, 6'7", averaging 56% from the cherry stripe this year. First free throw for the big man, up and in.
And looks like Newsome's going to be checked out here.
So a back and forth ball game already in this one. And there's good reason why both teams have lost stars with everything on the line. Second now for Jacob Arope. No good off the back iron. Both teams fighting for the board. Arope gets it. He gets his own rebound. Trying to bully his way out, and he loses the basketball, taken away by Central. Now tough pass, and it's going to go out of bounds. So after all that, T-Birds will retain possession.
Great effort there by Arope.
He's going to check right out. A little bit gassed, but he made a nice play. So Jensen will inbound for the T-Birds, coming off the bench. He gives it over to Eldon Turner on the right wing. Turner guarded closely by Thomas. At the top of the key. Now feeding Jensen inside, taken away now by Central. Sterling across the midline, over to Holman on the right wing. Feeding Ackerman inside, tough post move on the way in. One for Ike Ackerman. The sixth man with a massive bucket. And Central ties up this ball game at 27 with a chance to take the lead.
Wayne back in for the Eagles.
So one free throw for Ike Ackerman. It is up, and it is no good. So this game is staying tied at 27. Eldon Turner will bring it across the timeline over to Jane Jackson on the right wing. Jackson now to Jensen. Ball moving all around the perimeter. Trying to feed Robbie Garcia inside. He's on the baseline, working on Ike Ackerman, backing him downside the post. Nice move, but he's blocked. And there's going to be a foul, they say. It looks like Elijah Wayne, who got a piece of that basketball, might have just barely clipped his arm. So that's going to send Robbie Garcia back to the free throw line. Robbie Garcia. First one on the way. Rattles no good. Almost sunk, but yeah, just barely off. So for the time being, we're still at 27. Couple check-ins for both teams in the final minute of this first half. Robbie Garcia, second free throw to take the lead for the T-Birds. Up and rattles all the way in. So Holman will inbound. Gives it over to Daron Thomas, who's going slow across the timeline, just walking, catching his breath, and will set up the offense. Getting calls from his head coach.
Feels like the first time this game has been slow all game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good for me, catch my breath. So ball moving all around the perimeter. Now over to Ike Ackerman. Now three-point on the way from the right wing. Got it to go. That was Andrew Brown coming off the bench with a nice three to give Central the lead. So the shot clock is now off. Eldon Turner will bring it across the timeline down by 2 points. The T-Birds going to hold to get one last look. Eldon Turner has in the right corner, guarded by Daron Thomas. 10 seconds left to play. They trying to feed Jacob Orope inside. He's trying to back down Ackerman. Now over to Jane Jackson. Three-pointer from the left wing. No good. Rebound by Central. 2 seconds. There's a foul on the floor. So with officially 1.4 seconds here on the clock, Central's going to inbound, and a full court heave is coming. Sterling will inbound. He's trying to find somebody to pass to. Throws it all the way over to Brown. Full court pass, shot, and that was just way off. And that'll be the end of the first half. Back and forth ball game, but the number 5 seeded Omaha Central Eagles up by 2 over number 1 Bellevue West. Let's go get to the face cam here real quick. Send it right back up to the booth. My name is Wilson Dittman alongside my partner Jonathan Spieler. And we're going to start off with you, Jonathan. Like we talked about, fast-paced ball game. And take a second, catch our breath here. Mm-hmm. What did you see out there?
I mean, it was a super fast-paced, probably the most fast-paced ball game I've seen all day. Both teams knocking down some threes. Have been a little inconsistent with the turnovers, but I mean that's what you get for a fast pace. And I think Omaha Central getting it done.
Yeah, I mean Central, they're doing it in a multitude of ways. We thought that really it was going to be Daron Thomas who would have a massive first half in order for this to be the score. But again, you look at the score sheet right now. Everybody's doing on the starting lineup for Eagles, and then when you look at the T-Birds, really their star players, whether that's Robbie Garcia, has yet to get involved. But really the story is that Jaden Jackson, 0 points right now for the South Dakota State commit. He's got to have a big second half more for the T-Birds to get this victory. So we're going to put a timer on the screen, folks. We have about 11 minutes until the second half, and we will be back then. So don't go away. Get some popcorn, get some snacks. It's dinner time, and then come right back here. You could just pop in, check the score, pop in, listen to the call, whatever you want to do. We're here on Millard South Media. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you in about 11 or so minutes. And welcome back to this one. We have about 2 minutes until we get to the second half, and man, oh man, was it an exciting first half, back and forth action. But right now, Omaha Central up by 2 points over the number 1 seeded Bellevue West Wildcats, or excuse me, Bellevue West Thunderbirds. Thinking of Millard West, but anyways, my name is Wilson Dittman alongside my partner Jonathan Spieler. So Jonathan, let's start it off with you. Who's your star player throughout that first half?
That is, I honestly don't know.
And that's a good response.
It's really hard because, I mean, here's what I was expecting. I mean, as we stated in pregame, Bellevue West has a lot of weapons. And Central, I mean, they have star players, but I honestly feel like Central has had more of a team effort, and, like, they're more diverse in, you know, who's scoring in Bellevue West. I mean, they're scoring, but it's not what we expected.
Yeah, I gave you a little bit of a hard question. I think I'd respond the same way because when you look at the stat sheet, it's been distributed very well. Everybody has a couple buckets, but nobody is really dominating the points category. I think that's why the score is what it is right now, especially with Central leading. So both teams huddling up right now, talking this one over. And again, I predicted a couple of days ago that Central was going to make the state title game and win it. Got some flack for it, but right now they're playing a pretty good ball game against the incumbent state titles, or state title winners, excuse me, the Bellevue West Thunderbirds. So both teams retaking the floor. Let's get ready to go here for this third quarter. In Bellevue West in the all whites.
I'm expecting the same pace this first and second quarter are going to be super fast.
So here we go. The Thunderbirds are going to inbound across the midline. And let's get this one started here. Eldon Turner going right to left right now for the T-Birds. Gives it over to Jacob Arope on the left wing. Arope. Jab stepping, looking for a man. Right back over to Turner now. Turner on the left wing, guarded by Holman. Feeds over to Polacek on the corner, right back to Turner. Those all the way to Robbie Garcia in the right corner. Now to Polacek on the left wing. Now Turner. 3-point on the way. No good. Rebound to Rope. Second chance out for the T-Birds. Blocked by Holman. And Central will bring it across the other end. Now G.J. Sterling working his way inside the paint. Kicks over to Deshaun Prince. Deshaun Prince on the left corner. Driving baseline. Loses his dribble. Now has to kick it right back out to Dalaron Thomas. Dalaron Thomas right now with 7 points for Central. Coming off of a buzzer beater at the end of the first half. Or, excuse me, end of the second half. So, again, ball movement right now for Central all across the perimeter. G.J. Sterling on the left wing. 5 seconds of shot clock. Puts up a mid-range. No good. Rebound by the T-Birds. Eldon Turner will bring it across the other end. Over to Polacek. 3-point on the way. Air ball. Second chance out for the T-Birds. They get their own board. And they're just going to reset. Right back over to Polacek. Second chance. 3, and he makes that one. Polacek is not going to miss that same shot 2 times in a row, and he makes the Central Eagles pay.
It almost looked like a pass for the first one.
So Central on the other end. DJ Sterling has out the top of the key. Trying to give it over down on Thomas. Jaden Jackson has been phenomenal on defense. Now over to Holman. Right back to Deshaun Prince on the left corner. And he looks like he tried to throw it off of a T-Bird to go out of bounds, but the T-Birds just take advantage, and they take over. Now Jaden Jackson, 3-pointer on the way. No good. And yet another offensive board by the T-Birds. Second chance out for Robbie Garcia, rattles home. So Dalaron Thomas will bring it across the other end, and that's going to force a timeout by Central to talk things over. Bellevue West with 5 straight points to start off this second half.
And this is one of the few timeouts we've seen all game, I think. I don't think.
Yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah, this is the first one. There were none in the first half.
So real quick, I want to thank our sponsor, Erickson Cedarstrom, providing you 55 years of legal excellence. If you want the best legal work in the city of Omaha, state of Nebraska, or United States, please go over to Erickson Cedarstrom, and they will get you done right. But again, Central timeout on the court here. Full timeout. They're going to talk this one over. The winner of this ball game will play the winner of the next one versus Millard North in Westside. And, of course, we're going to have that here on Millard South Media for you. It's going to be a contested battle. So both teams retaking the floor. Devin Holman to inbound right now for Central. Gives it over to DJ Sterling. Sterling working his way inside the paint. Loses the basketball. Has to reset. Now over to Ike Ackerman. Down to Deshaun Prince. Back to Sterling on the Husker logo. Setting up the offense. Guarded by Steven Polacek. Over to Holman now. Three-pointer from the corner. No good. Rebounded by a rope. Ellen turned the other way now. T-Birds up by 3. A rope. Feeding Jay Jackson on top of the key. Jab stepping. Guarded by Dowron Thomas. Backing him down. Now feeding Jacob a rope. Tough layup. Got it to go. And Jacob a rope knew it the second it left his hands.
Very nice find there by Jackson.
Dowron Thomas trying to go quick on the other end. He's fouled on the mid-range.
Looks like that's going to be on a rope. Got in his face. I think he came down with it and kind of just hit him on the shoulder.
So Dowron Thomas will go to the free throw line, averaging 65% this year. First one for the star point guard up and in. McMorris checking right back in this ballgame for the T-Birds. A rope and Turner go out. Second free throw now for Thomas up and in as well. So now only a 3-point lead for Bellevue West. Jaden Jackson trying to find his way inside the paint. He is fouled before he puts up any type of shot.
Looks like that foul's going to be on Sterling for the Eagles.
So Jensen's going to inbound for the T-Birds. They'll reset. Jackson has it on the deep right wing. Setting up an offensive play. Over now to Jensen. 3-point on the way from the left corner. Misses it completely. Rebounded by Dowron Thomas. He'll take it the other end. Going quick. On the right wing of his own now. Loses the basketball. It'll go out of bounds. And they're going to say it's off of a T-Bird. So Thomas to inbound over under his own basket. Trying to fit it into Holman to go out of bounds, so another inbound coming for Central. Thomas now inbounding from the corner, throws up to Holman at the top of the key. He puts up a three-pointer, no good. Rebounded by Central. Second chance now for Prince. Kicks it over to Sterling. Sterling back over to Prince on left wing, guard by Zach Morris. Now feeds it over to Dowron Thomas. Thomas working his way inside, and he's fouled before the shot goes up. So another inbound will be coming for the Eagles.
And it looks like we're going to have some subs in here for the Thunderbirds. A rope and Turner back in.
Yeah, they just checked right back in after checking out for what was basically a minute.
Yep.
So Thomas with yet another inbound. Throws up to Ike Ackerman. Tough pass. He gets under it, though. He has on the left wing. Now to DJ Sterling on the Husker logo. Central's going left to right. Nice crossover. Trying to work his way inside. Loses the basketball. Taken away by Jaden Jackson. He's going quick on a 2-on-2 fast break. Tough layup off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Central. Thomas brings it across the other end. Over to Prince. Prince all the way throwing it to Sterling in the corner, and it's just too high. And the T-Bird fans not happy. They wanted a foul from the previous possession. Still chirping at the refs.
Looked like the Bellevue West coach was telling the players just to slow down a little.
A rope over to Turner left wing. He'll drive inside. Mid-range Jay got it. Off the dribble, Eldon Turner. A nice bucket. So Dowron Thomas now has on the right wing, being double teamed, feeds over to Ike Ackerman, is botting his way inside, now over to Deshaun Prince in the corner. Prince working his way across the three-point line, now to Holman. Dowron Thomas now on the left corner, backing down his man, spin move, feeds over to Ackerman. Mid-range Jay, air ball. Oh, man. Jaden Jackson, pull-up three-pointer, got it! Jaden Jackson with a heat check, and it connects. And Bellevue West is up to their biggest lead today. And that is going to force yet another Central timeout. to talk things over with their Eagles.
Bellevue West seeming to be heating up a little here, making some three-pointers and some turnovers. Forcing some turnovers.
Yeah, so we talked about it at halftime that Jaden Jackson was really yet to get involved offensively, but he's done that last couple minutes. That's the reason T-Birds now trying to get firm control over the Central Eagles. Taking full timeout on the floor.
Central only down by 8, though, still within reach.
Yeah, when you have great players like Ron Thomas, Devin Holman, again, these 8-point deficits are nothing. They can come back very quickly.
Not to mention an experienced team.
So really what's really impressed me about Bellevue West, though, especially Jade Jackson, has been his presence defensively, though. He's forced a couple steals in this game. Again, I can estimate probably 3 or 4. We don't have live stats until tomorrow, but again, he's been making his presence felt defensively. So both teams will retake the floor. 3 minutes left to play here in the third. Bellevue West up to their biggest lead today of 8. Central will inbound on their side of the court. Holman over to DJ Sterling, who sets up the offense, guarded by Turner. Sterling over to Thomas. Thomas trying to drive baseline. Good defense by Jensen. Has to kick it over to Holman. Right back over to Thomas. He's being double teamed on the Husker logo. Tough pass over to Holman. Holman will drive inside and almost dunks it home, but there's a foul off the ball and it'll go on Central. And he missed that dunk anyways. So been a sloppy couple minutes of basketball here for the Central Eagles, and he could not afford that. Eldon Turner throws up to Stephen Polachek, now right back over to Turner. Turner guarded closely by Andrew Brown. Gives it over to Robbie Garcia at the top of the key. Looking for a man to pass to, now over to Jensen. Now Stephen Polachek. Polachek trying to work his way inside, kicks it over to Turner. Tough pass to Robbie Garcia inside the lane and got out of bounds. So Central will inbound, bring it across the timeline. That's Devin Holman.
Bellevue West still in that full court press.
DJ Sterling now has it at the top of the key. Trying to work his way inside. Now finds a wide open lane. Says, thank you very much. 2 points. Full court trap look by Central. Thunderbirds get across the court. No problem. Give it over to Isaiah Morris. He has it right now on the right wing. The Husker commit. Right back to him. Setting up the offense. Still is yet to have a point today. Now to Robbie Garcia at the top of the key. Working on Elijah Wayne, backing him down. Now back to Isaiah McMorris. McMorris finds a crease in the defense. It is blocked by Elijah Wayne, but it'll stay with the T-Birds with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Number 12, Jaden Jackson.
And a Rope and Jackson come back in for the T-Birds.
So Eldon Turner will inbound under his own basket. We're stopping play really quick to get Deshaun Prince checked in. Turner throws up to Jacob Barope on the free throw line. Now over to Robbie Garcia at the top of the key. Now over to Eldon Turner. Wide open three-pointer. No good. Rebounded by Central. Delron Thomas going quick on the other end. Over to Deshaun Prince. Pass up a good look from 3 from the corner. He'll slow things down. He's thinking about it. Now he'll drive inside. Kicks it now to the free throw line. Now to the other corner. Bad pass. And it will stay with Central. They said maybe Jaden Jackson got a finger on it. So Holman will inbound in his own corner. Minute 30 left to play here in this third quarter. Gives it over to Elijah Wayne. Now Delron Thomas working off the dribble. Drives baseline, tough mid-range. Jay, no good, air ball. Bellevue West trying to go quick. Tough pass. They throw it up to Jaden Jackson. He'll drive inside. Crazy circus layup falls for Jaden Jackson. And that gets a response from the bench. Delron Thomas trying to get an answer of his own. Over to Holman. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Central fighting for their board. It'll stay with them, however, off of Jacob Barope. I mean, that layup by by
Yeah,
Jay Jackson.
they're showing it now. He went all the way.
All the way down. That's about as circus as it possibly could get. That kid is an athlete, that's for sure.
Subs in for Central.
So Daron Thomas to inbound under his own basket. Throws it up to Deshaun Prince, who will set the offense with 1 minute left to play here in this third quarter, down by 8. Now over to Devin Holman. Devin Holman trying to buy his way in the post, and there's going to be a foul on the floor on the T-Birds.
Bellevue West foul. Number 32, Robbie Garcia, second personal foul. Third team foul.
So once again, Thomas will inbound under his own basket. Throws it up to Holman. Now over to Prince, backing down a rope. Tough layup falls for Deshaun Prince, and he lets him know. Eldon Turner will bring it across the timeline. Over to Gene Jackson on the right wing, coming off of a massive layup. Now gives a pass, fakes a pass. Over to Stephen Polachek. Floater on the way, got it to go. 20 seconds left to play in this third quarter. Daron Thomas trying to go quick. Tough floater of his own. He just threw that one up. Trying to force some contact, but there's no foul called. T-Birds will take it the other way. Eldon Turner across the timeline. 10 seconds left in this third quarter. Driving baseline now. Kicks it over to the court. Stephen Polachek pulls a trigger. No good. A rope with the second board. Second chance up and in. And the buzzer goes off, and that'll be the end of the third quarter. Bellevue West, after trailing by 2 at halftime, now leads by 10. Going into the final 8 minutes of action, Jonathan.
Yes, they do. They are on fire.
And this is the Bellevue West team that we thought we might see in the first round, and we're definitely seeing it right now. This is the reason why they're the 1 seed. Daron Thomas, the storyline of this tournament so far for Central, only 9 points. He's going to have a big fourth quarter in order for them to win. So we're going to take a quick break here on Millard South Media, and we will be right back for the final 8 minutes. And we're back here at Millard South Media for the final 8 minutes of basketball. Fourth quarter underway. Central down by 10. They will inbound across the midline. DJ Sterling brings it across the timeline. Now over to Deshaun Prince. Deshaun Prince trying to feed Elijah Wayne inside. Nice backdoor cut, and he gets the bucket to fall. Ellen Turner bring across the midline now for the T-Birds. Over to Stephen Polachek. Now Jaden Jackson on the Husker logo, setting up the offense. Jackson surveying. Now to Stephen Polachek. Back to Jackson on the left wing. Back and forth action. Polachek, three-pointer on the way now. And they're going to call a foul on Deshaun Prince. That was an air ball. Deshaun Prince got a hand on it, but they're going to say it potentially hit his arm, and he didn't like the call. Central fans don't like the call either.
Not at all.
I don't think he clipped his arm. I think it was all ball. But Stephen Polachek will go to the line. He drains the first one. Second one, though, for Polachek up and in as well. And he is a guy who you don't want at the free throw line, averaging about 70%. Sharpshooter for this team. Third and final one up and in as well, and Bellevue West up to their biggest lead today of 11. Daron Thomas needs to have a big fourth quarter in order for Central to keep their season alive. He has it on the left corner, working on Jaden Jackson. Three-pointer now on the way. No good. Ball is free, taken away by the T-Birds. Ball's going to go out of bounds. Central's playing some press defense, but again, they'll stay with Bellevue West. So the T-Birds inbound across the midline. Over to Eldon Turner, guarded by G.J. Sterling. Now fits it into Jaden Jackson. Trying to get Eldon Turner in the corner. Pass up a good look from three. Over to Jackson. Three-pointer. Pulls the trigger. No good. McMorris gets his own board. Or excuse me, McMorris just gets a board for Bellevue West. Second chance, Jackson. Tough layup. No good. Third chance for Bellevue West. There's a foul on the floor, and it will be on Central. Central, man, cannot catch a break, cannot get a board. That's the reason why the score is what it is.
Yeah, relative low-scoring game.
So again, Bellevue West kind of taking control here. But Central still with fight left in them. 7 minutes for their season. Jacob Arope gives it over to Jaden Jackson on the midline. Jackson surveying. Crossover, working on the right wing now. Over to the corner, that's Eldon Turner. Turner working his way inside, over to Stephen Polacek, who drives baseline, trying to feed somebody, but it's taken away by Central. DJ Sterling going quick now. Driving his way inside, floater, all net. So Eldon Turner now will bring it across the timeline, up by 9. They're going to call a tic-tac foul on Delaron Thomas. That'll be Central's third.
Central foul number 4, Delaron Thomas, his second personal foul. 3 team fouls for the Eagles.
That's something to keep an eye on if you're a Central fan. You can only have 3 fouls. You want to have that under control.
Robbie Garcia in for Bell West.
Garcia checking back in for Polacek. He'll do the inbounds duty. Moves over to Eldon Turner on the Husker logo. Eldon Turner guarded closely by Andrew Brown, trying to feed Robbie Garcia inside. Being double teamed. Now over to Arope on a backdoor cut, and he says, thank you very much. 2 points for Jacob Arope. G.J. Sterling going quick right now for Central. Feeds Deshaun Prince of a backdoor cut of his own. Misses, but second chance up and in for Elijah Wayne.
And
both teams going quick like we've seen throughout this ball game. Robbie Garcia over to Jaden Jackson on the Husker logo. He'll wisely slow things down. But he loses the basketball. Andrew Brown on a one-on-one fast break. Puts up a tough layup, no good. Rebound Central. Second chance now, and Sterling will reset. Now puts up a three-pointer from the left corner, no good. Third chance now for Central. Elijah Wayne blocked. Fourth chance, gets his own board. Ball is free, and it'll stay with Omaha Central after a what looked like a foul on Bellevue West. I mean, that's been the story of the game for Central. You get so many opportunities, you can't convert.
And it looked like a rope blocked the first one clean, and the second one, when he was going back up, he got some arm.
So Bellevue West will take a timeout. 5 minutes left to play in this ball game, up by 9 over Omaha Central.
Yep, their first one of the game.
So we'll keep it right here. Going over some of the stats today, again, you see Dalaron Thomas with 13, G.J. Sterling, or excuse me, for Bellevue West, you see that Stephen Polacek with 13, Jacob Arope with 13 as well. I mean, both teams doing a good job distributing the basketball and getting all their starters involved. And just a reminder, we have the number 2 ranked Millard North Mustangs versus number 3 ranked Westside Warriors up next here on Millard South Media audio broadcast. That will be the nightcap here for the Class A semifinals. And we have you covered not only for that game, but all of the action tomorrow. The Class D1 final, C1 final, B final, C2 final, and of course, the pinnacle event here at Pinnacle Bank Arena, the Class A state championship with everything on the line.
For sure, lots of games.
So after the timeout, Elijah Wayne will go to the free throw line for 2 for Omaha Central. Trying to cut down this Bellevue West lead. Wayne, who averages not very good from the free throw line this year, makes the first one. Second one now for Elijah Wayne on the way. No good off the back iron, rebounded by Jay Jackson of Bellevue West. They're trapping Eldon Turner. Ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to say it's off of a Central defender. So Garcia will inbound, up 8 over Omaha Central. Gives it over now to Turner. Turner will bring it across the midline. 5 minutes left to play officially. Guarded by Deshaun Prince, the football recruit. Eldon Turner working his way, now driving baseline. Over to Garcia, now McMorris on the left wing. He drives inside. Nice cut over to Orope, who gets a layup to rattle home. That's a good representation of Bellevue West just making one extra pass to find a better man. Sterling now guarded closely by Isaac McMorris. Over to Daleron Thomas, who drives inside. Tough mid-range, no good. Rebounded by Robbie Garcia. And the T-Birds look like they're going to slow things down. Up by 10, 4 minutes left to play. This is the first time in this ballgame where it just felt like one team was in complete control. But right when I say that, Central comes down with the steal. Wide open layup up and in for the Eagles. So again, both teams, I think, just catching their breath out there, looking a little sluggish.
Yep.
I am too. I mean, it's just been a fast-paced ball game. Isaiah Morris has on the left wing right now for the T-Birds. Over now to Eldon Turner, now on the right wing. Setting out the offense, calling for a screen. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now trying to feed Garcia and Tide. Taken away by Holman. They're going to say there's a foul on the floor. That is going to be Central's fourth.
Central foul number 4, Daleron Thomas is third. Fourth team foul number 4. Stephen Polachek in for Bell West.
So Central, Polachek checking back in. But, yeah, Central just can't do anything to help themselves out. It feels like when they're having a good defensive possession, they have a foul called on them.
Yep, they've been hovering in between this 8 and 9 point gap.
Last couple minutes, yeah. So they inbound over to Isaiah Morris. Shot clock is reset. And I know Bellevue West is trying to run that as much as they possibly can. Turning it out to McMorris on the right wing. McMorris now to Stephen Polachek. To Jaden Jackson on the left wing. He'll drive inside to Sean Prince. Nice little cut over to Polachek. He'll work his way back to the free throw line and gives it to Jaden Jackson. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Got to set something up right now for the T-Bird. Jaden Jackson working at the top of the key. Guarded by Prince. Now driving inside. Tough right-handed layup on the glass. No good. Rebounded by Devin Holman of Central. And there will be a foul on Bellevue West.
And looks like that's going to be on number 3.
Isaiah McMorris, third personal foul. Second team foul. Jacob Orope. And for the Thunderbirds.
So officially 3 minutes, 5 seconds left to play in this ballgame. The inbound to Daleron Thomas, who bring it across the midline. Has on the Husker logo, guarded by Turner, now gives it over to Sterling on the right wing. Sterling working on McMorris. Hasn't started dribbling, now does. Back to Wayne, and a tough pass over to Prince just goes off his hands. And that is unlike Deshaun Prince. I mean, he plays wide receiver for Central, and he just dropped that pass. It's those crucial mistakes you cannot make the later stages of a close ball game with a state title appearance on the line. So Eldon Turner bringing it across the timeline over to Stephen Pollock. Now to Jane Jackson, to McMorris, wide open in the corner. He'll drive baseline. Tough floater on the way. Got it to go. Isaiah McMorris. And he lets them know. Central has got to desperately cut down this lead very quickly. DJ Sterling working his way inside. Tough layup. No good, but he will be fouled, and he will go to the line for 2.
Bell West foul number 3, Isaiah McMorris' fourth personal foul. Third team foul.
So that's going to send DJ Sterling to the line for 2 shots. He's averaging 53% this year. 9 points a game. First one for G.A. Sterling, up and in. Second one now for the point guard, up and in as well. That's going to force a Central timeout, full timeout. Talk this one over with the troops, down by 8 with 2 minutes 22 remaining in this ball game.
Central's going to need to find something to get going here to break this 8-point gap.
And like you've said, Jonathan, in this fourth quarter, it's just basically been an 8-10-point lead the entire way. Bellevue West has not been able to really take full control, and Central hasn't had the ability to really come back and make a comeback effort.
For sure.
I think that the surprising part of this ball game for Central specifically has just been the lack of Dale Thomas. He's coming off a 30-point performance in the quarterfinals, and right now only 9 points. And you really thought that Dale Thomas, in order for Central to win, was going to have a big game, and he's probably the reason why they're not with his lack of play today. So again, both teams meeting in their huddles. Everything on the line. 2 minutes left to play, and we will know who will be the first team to punch their ticket to the state title tomorrow evening. The wave going around PBA right now. There you go. Get pretty good size of crowd here at Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent all day.
So here we go. Off the timeout, Bellevue West will inbound. Robbie Garcia will do the job. Gets it over to Eldon Turner. Turner gives it over now to Isaiah Morris. Ball goes out of bounds. Will stay with Bell West. The wave's still going here at Pinnacle. So Jayden Jackson the inbound. Over now to Eldon Turner on the Husker logo. You've got to think the play call is just to milk this clock as much as possible right now if you're the T-Birds. Robbie Garcia on the right wing. Pass up a good look from 3. Now drives inside. Finds a crease. Tough layup. No good. Gets his own board. Second chance. No good. Third rebound. Got it to go. Robbie Garcia. Third time's a charm for the big man. Tough inbound. Got out of bounds, but Central will inbound again. So you got to think right now, 2 minutes left to play in this ball game. It's now or never. If Dale Thomas he's the only reason that Central will come back in this ball game. He's got to touch this basketball. He's got to put something up. Here we go. Dale Thomas to inbound. Throws it all the way across the court to Deshaun Prince, who once again drops the basketball. Has to make a heave to save it. And it's taken away by Isaiah Morris.
Looks like he ran into a rope there.
So once again, the call from Steve Klein, head coach of Bellevue West, is to milk this clock up by 10. Jayden Jackson has it at the top of the key. Now over to Jacob Arope on the left wing. Arope driving inside. No good. Rebound by Garcia, and he takes advantage once again. And Bell West in firm control. G.J. Sterling on the other end, going quick over to Sean Prince. Three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound by Central, second chance. Holman pulls the trigger on a 3. This one no good as well, and rebound by Arope. And with Bellevue West up by 12, with a minute left to play, we'll see what Central does here. Ball goes out of bounds. Central being physical, but it'll stay with the T-Birds.
If I'm Central here, these shots are going to have to start falling if you want any chance.
And you're up. I mean, if you're Bell West, you're up by 12. You've got to think Central might be able to wave the white flag here, but we'll see how hard they want to fight for this one. But I think if Central doesn't get a bucket in the next possession, it's over. Again, make sure to join us for our postgame show. We're going to gloss over this ball game along with talking about the next one, West Side versus Millard North.
And here
ball
we
is
go.
free on the floor. G.J. Sterling trying to go the other end for Central and gets the layup to fall. So Central still alive here, down by 10. They're going to call a timeout on the floor.
Nice little pump fake there.
So 30-second timeout by Bruce Chubeck of Omaha Central, talking over with his boys. Down by 10.
50 seconds left.
Class A state title along. Again, thank you guys for joining us throughout this broadcast. Again, phenomenal finish about to unfold, but make sure to come right back here to Millard South Media for the Millard North versus West Side game. That'll be a close one. About as good as a game as we're going to see today. And they're also going to be fighting for a state title appearance. And you can just pop in, check the score now from time to time. You can pop in, check out the call, whatever you want to do. We have it right here for Millard South Media. So both teams retaking the floor. Central down by 10 coming off of a bucket. 50 seconds left in this one. Robbie Garcia will inbound for the T-Birds. Looking for a man, surveying, and then just fits into Jay Jackson, who's trapped right away and fouled. So Bellevue West enters the bonus, and they will go to the free throw line. And Jaden Jackson makes his slow trot to the charity stripe. So Jaden Jackson, who averages about 17 points per game for Bellevue West, averaging about 80% from the free throw line. It's not the guy you want to foul. First one for him is all net.
Knocks it down. A rope back in.
Second one now for him is also in. Bellevue West extends their lead to 12. Now or never right now for Omaha Central. Season on the line. DJ Sterling will bring it across the timeline. Guarded by Morris on the left wing. Over to Daleron Thomas. Gives it over to Holman. Now three-point on the way by Prince. Got it to go. Central still with some life in them as the clock is running. 30 seconds. They're trying to trap Jackson. Now feeds it into Garcia. They get across the midline. No problem. Over to a rope now with a wide open lane. He's fouled on the way up. He wanted to go down and dunk it. But Daleron Thomas says no to that. I'm going to foul you, and we'll send you to the line. And that is going to be the last we see of Daleron Thomas. He fouls out of this ball game, and his phenomenal Nebraska Preps career has come to an end, presumably here in the final 22 seconds. About as good as a player we're ever going to see here in the state of Nebraska. He's been doing it all year long for Central. Unfortunately, looks like a season will be completed. Arub's first free throw is up and in. And right now the T-Birds clearing the bench. So a standing ovation from the crowd, hyping up the student section of Bellevue West. The reserves in the game for both teams. Central's waving the figurative white flag with 22 seconds remaining in this one. Jacob Barope. Second free throw now for the big man. Up and no good. Rebounded by Central. They'll bring it across the midline. 20 seconds left to play. Still showing some effort, and a rope will have a quick foul so he can check out of this ball game. He just hugged. He hugged that Central player and said, "Hey, let's get out of here." So 17 seconds left to play. Central will inbound. Give it to a man. He's driving inside. Tough layup off the glass. No good. Second chance now for Central. And that one falls. Kevin McGee with the bucket. Bellevue West now will bring it across the floor. 1 second, 0 seconds, and this one is over. The T-Birds continue their run of dominance and will play for yet another Class A state title tomorrow night.
Wow.
Just a phenomenal game for the T-Birds. Again, it was very close. Central was really fighting, especially in that first half where they went into halftime up by 2. But, again, we saw that Central not as talented as the T-Birds, and really when Jay Jackson started to get going, it was hard to come back from that one, Jonathan.
Yeah, really hard. And I think it was hard for Central. They kept him in the first half phenomenally, but I think they might have pushed themselves a little too hard, and they got gassed out a little at the end. And as you said, Thomas not hitting or being characteristics as he should really did not help Central.
Yeah, I mean, about as good of a game as we expected, but next one might just be better. Number 2 Millard North versus number 3 West Side. The nightcap, the last one here on a Friday night. We hope that you join us for that one. And again, the winner of that ball game will face Bellevue West tomorrow night at 6:15 for a Class A state title. So we will be back for that game in a couple minutes, and we're also going to be back with every single game tomorrow. You're going to want to be here on Millard South Media. Make sure to subscribe just so you can check in, pop in, check the score, whatever's going on here on this channel. So we're going to see you then, folks.